After 15 years as a professional, Terrence Crawford, 40-0 with 31 knockouts, finally notched a career-defining victory over the undefeated welterweight champion Errol Spence.
And it was a virtuoso performance!
And though there remain some intriguing options in his division, there's an opportunity to fight one of the best fighters in the world, Saul Canelo Alvarez, and to earn his biggest payday ever. The problem is that Crawford would have to skip all the way to the super middleweight division to do so. The thing is, many give him a chance to beat the bigger men. In this video, we'll discuss Terrence Crawford's accolades, his best wins, his biggest accomplishments, as well as some of the criticisms still thrown his way. In the end, we'll let you decide, how good is Terrence Crawford? Crawford has won titles in 3 divisions: lightweight, super lightweight, and welterweight. In the latter 2, Crawford collected all 4 alphabet straps and became the division's undisputed champion. Another impressive notch on his record is that he hasn't heard the final bell since 2016. He inflicted Shawn Porter's only career stoppage defeat and became the first man to beat and halt Errol Spence. One should also note that nothing was handed easily to Crawford. He had no major world-class amateur achievements, and thus, his options were relatively limited when he turned professional. He also traveled abroad to Scotland in 2014 when he acquired the WBO lightweight strap. But how good is his overall record? In 2014, Crawford made his first defense of his lightweight title against the undefeated Cuban Yuriorkis Gamboa. Though short for the division, the gold medalist possessed lightning-quick hands, athleticism, and power to boot. Crawford encountered a rocky start before finding his timing. He was hurt late in the fight, but continued picking Gamboa apart en route to a 9th round stoppage. For his second defense, Crawford squared up against Raimundo Beltran. Beltran was on a 4-fight winning streak, including a controversial draw against Ricky Burns, which many believe should have gone his way. In this bout, Crawford displayed his fleet feet as he kept Beltran turning. In the end, Beltran was unable to pin his opponent down, and Crawford walked away with a unanimous decision. In 2016, after winning a super lightweight strap, Crawford sought to unify against the undefeated Viktor Postol. Postol was coming off a stoppage win over the former boogeyman, the murderous punching Lucas Matisse. As in the Beltran fight, Crawford chose to box. Though he did more running than punching, Crawford still managed to officially drop Postol twice and managed to walk away with a clean face. 2 years later, in 2018, after having cleared out the super lightweight division, Crawford fought the undefeated Jeff Horn. Horn was a big welterweight who'd recently upset the legendary Manny Pacquiao, although many disputed the decision, as well as the illegal manner in which Horn had fought. But against Crawford, the dirty tactics were useless, as Crawford walked the aggressive Horn into a buzzsaw and scored a 9th round stoppage. More than a year later, in 2019, Crawford took on the tank-like Egidius Kavaliauskas. Kavaliauskas pressed Crawford and stunned him early. Crawford then flipped the script on the Lithuanian and began to back him up. He slowly depleted Kavaliauskas' gas tank before scoring a 9th round stoppage. In 2021, Crawford finally got his hands on one of the top welterweights in the world, Shawn Porter. Porter's feints and speed kept Crawford off balance. But the Omaha native's counter-punching style forced him to burn through energy. Crawford connected with bombs, but Porter kept pressuring. In the 10th round, Crawford finally dropped Porter. His follow-up salvo caused another spill, before Porter's father threw in the towel. In 2023, the much-anticipated bout against the undefeated titleist Errol Spence finally arrived. Spence had scored wins over Kell Brook, Shawn Porter, Danny Garcia, and a stoppage over Yordenis Ugas to amass 3 of the welterweight belts. What many experts coined a 50-50 bout turned into a massacre, as Crawford proved too quick, too strong, and simply too good for his opponent. In the end, Crawford scored a 9th-round stoppage. And now that we've looked at Crawford's biggest wins, let's take a look at what makes him so dangerous. What makes Crawford a formidable opponent is his counterpunching style. He uses his nimble feet to lure opponents into his punching range, whereupon he launches quick, powerful, and accurate shots. His unusually long arms also keep fighters at bay. On top of this, Crawford can switch stances and fight as comfortably as a southpaw as he can in his orthodox stance, thus confusing his opponents. Against Gamboa, switching to southpaw proved a pivotal moment, as the stance reduced Gamboa's early success and allowed Crawford to pick him apart. And though he hasn't shown it recently, Crawford can cut the ring off, as he did against Felix Diaz and Thierry Jean back in the super lightweight division. Then, when he fought Postal, a natural counterpuncher, to force the Ukrainian to becoming the aggressor, thus putting him in an uncomfortable situation. And though Crawford was less dominant than usual, he limited Postal's offense and avoided running into hard times, as many of Postal's future opponents would. And against Kavaliauskas, when Crawford's back foot approach was failing, he switched it up and began backing the Lithuanian up. Kavaliauskas appeared unaccustomed to being on the retreat, and this may have partly served to tire him out. And against Spence, Crawford used his guard more than ever, staying in place and letting Spence walk into his pinpoint offense. The adaptability that Crawford has demonstrated against an array of styles is the mark of an intelligent boxer. And as if things couldn't get worse for his opponents, Crawford's also in excellent condition. He's a fast and explosive fighter, and his style can be taxing on the lungs. But Crawford has scored many stoppages late into the fight, thus demonstrating that he can carry his speed and power late into the fight. Now let's take a look at what critics have to say. Prior to the Spence bout, many derided his lack of credible welterweight opponents. He managed to stop Sean Porter in 2021. Porter's immediate retirement made some question whether his heart had been in the fight at all. Moreover, despite many experts claiming that the Crawford-Spence bout was a competitive fight, many had picked Crawford to win partly because of Spence's lifestyle following his 2019 car accident. Some criticized those observations as being excuses, but the fact is that fights do not occur in a vacuum separate from real life. Outside the ring factors affect the fighter's performance. Thus, some wonder whether Crawford's victory over Spence is being overrated. Spence's moments of success against Crawford were few, but when he did score, he exploited Crawford's tendency to drop his hands. And before that, in his fight against David Avanesian, Crawford's legs appeared slower than usual, especially compared to the Sean Porter fight a year earlier. He didn't really need that movement against Spence, but at 35 years of age, soon to be 36 this September, Crawford's physical talent will only deteriorate further. This could be worrisome, as he's already had close fights in which his power had to bail him out. In 2018, Crawford fought the undefeated Jose Benavides. There, he struggled to find a clear target and ate many clean shots in what was a hotly contested bout. Crawford ended up connecting with an uppercut in the last round en route to a stoppage win. And in 2020, against the former welterweight title holder, Kell Brook, Crawford found himself outboxed before stunning Brook with one shot. Even though Crawford scored stoppages, questions remain about the overall performances. Benavides had been outboxed by the veteran Miguel Herrera 4 years earlier, before receiving a disputed decision win. Moreover, Benavides failed to accomplish anything of note after the Crawford bout. And Brook, who looked like an Ethiopian refugee at the weigh-in, had come off stoppage losses against Gennady Golovkin and Errol Spence, suffering 2 fractured orbital bones in the process. So, based on everything you've seen, how good is Terrence Crawford? Is he an all-time great? Is he good enough to defeat the heavier Saul Canelo Alvarez? Let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and we will see you on the next one. Take it easy, folks. Thanks for watching.